Welcome to the movies, pal. You're from the neighborhood Master Chaos, back with you once again. I hope this video has found you well. I hope things are going okay with you. Remember, hang in there. Your old pal Master Chaos is pulling for you. Today we're talking about something that I'm happy to report is a good movie. Scanner Cop 2, The Showdown, aka Scanner Cop 2, Vulcan's Revenge, directed by Steve Barnett. Scanner Cop 2, ironically, has two different subtitles, so I'm not sure exactly what to call it. The credits call it Vulcan's Revenge. The box calls it The Showdown, which it is essentially a showdown, but it also encompasses Vulcan's Revenge. Who's Vulcan?
Well, we're waiting.
Well, that would be Patrick Kilpatrick here as the main antagonist. Daniel Quinn returns as our hero Sam, the titular Scanner Cop, and he's going head-to-head, see what I did there, with Patrick Kilpatrick's Vulcan, who is a scanner criminal that has escaped from prison and has it out for Daniel, or I should say Sam, because Sam scanned him during a robbery once and made Vulcan kill his brother. So this is a revenge story. It's also a superhero story. It shares a lot of similarities with an X-Men movie. In the first film, it felt like maybe Sam was the last of the scanners. There didn't seem to be anybody except him. In this world, a year later, I mean, from the shooting of the first one, a year later, scanners are on every goddamn street corner. Almost every person we meet in this movie is a scanner. And of course that plays into the plot, but it's interesting how the world all of a sudden opened up and scanners are just sort of a way of life. As a matter of fact, there's even an organization that hands out ephemeral to help suppress the scanner urges, the scanner powers. But one has to wonder, who the fuck is making ephemeral? If scanners are dangerous, who is actually, is anybody policing the scanners? Are they like on a record somewhere where the police know, okay, these guys are potentially mutants that could kill people with their mind? Who's making these drugs? And how is there a market for it? You know what? It's a lot of infrastructure stuff that we're just gonna sweep away. Now, where the first one was a tightly constructed police story a la Dirty Harry or even Speed, with a mastermind criminal sort of pulling the strings behind the scenes, this one is an out-and-out superhero movie. 100%. This is a superhero movie, with Vulcan being the overpowered scanner villain who has found a way to suck the life force, the scanning ability, a la Highlander, from other scanners, and in doing so, he melts them to mush. And we get to see that quite a bit. The effects in this are phenomenal. Phenomenal effects. I mean, phenomenal to a point. We see it maybe 2 or 3 times, and after a while, like, okay, how long is this gonna take? We get it. They're melting. It kind of goes on a little bit too long. That was my impression anyway. I mean, as much as I love seeing it, I'm like, all right, I've seen this. Let's go. Melt them down a little faster, man. It was taking a little bit too long, but that's a nitpick. Essentially, what you have here is a vampire story. Even the director, Steve Barnett, mentions it in the mini documentary, about 28-minute documentary that they have on here. He mentions that this is essentially a vampire story. Vulcan is a vampire sucking the life force out of other scanners. Like I said, a la Highlander, kind of a quickening situation. And he's getting stronger and stronger so that he can defeat Sam, to the point that he has all of a sudden become more powerful than Sam. But that's a thing where we kind of just have to take their word for it, because it's a scanning ability. It's not like he gets extra muscles or like a bigger head. We just have to take their word for it that, oh, now he's stronger. All right, cool, fine. I mean, we've never seen Sam suck anybody to death, so I guess you can believe that Vulcan is a stronger adversary. Both actors, by the way, nail this fucking movie to the ground. They certainly make it realistic. Both Patrick and Daniel provide performances that are headache-inducing, to say the least. I mean, these guys went through some shit. Scanning sucks. I would never want to be in a scanner movie. Maybe get my head blown off, but I would not want to be a scanner because it looks like it hurts. It looks very uncomfortable. And, well, kudos to them for delivering a phenomenal performance a pair of phenomenal performances again, which really elevates the material. And that's the important thing. This is a B movie. Yeah, this is a B, low-budget B movie with, goopy effects and things like that. But the performances separate it from the typical junk that you would normally find, on a VHS shelf. The typical junk that Vinegar Syndrome releases. This movie is elevated by these performances. The script, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't feel, to me, as tight and as compelling and as unpredictable as the first one. The first one had some really unpredictable elements because I had no idea where it was going. Here, right from the beginning, we understand this is a superhero versus supervillain story. There's no unpredictability with that storyline. We know where it's going to go. We know the final outcome, but it's still fun to watch. So if I had to ding the movie at all, I'm going to ding it for I think the script is a little too plain. It also, to me, doesn't really offer much character development for Sam. I mean, he's looking for his mom, but that's kind of a subplot, doesn't really factor in. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but Sam feels just like a generic cop in this. Also, I think in the first one, he felt like a real human being, and you really felt for him and his struggles. Here, he's just kind of a cop. He's just kind of a cop on the job, and this is 100% Patrick Kilpatrick's movie. Vulcan steals the fucking show. It is his movie. Honestly, he's got more scenes than Sam's character, Sam the character, has in the movie. So Vulcan is all over this. Every time we see him, he's fucking scanning people. I mean, we have, that scanning sound effect. Get ready to hear that a lot. I mean, you'll hear that more than you will the music. And funny enough, they have the composer on the special features, and the composer says, yeah, I kind of had to, make do with the fact that was going to overwhelm the music. So you hear that a lot. That scanning music is, that sound effect is over almost the entire movie. To be 100% honest, the movie is, I would say, 90% of people staring intently at each other. And that's not a joke. But at the same time, while it's compelling and exciting to watch, it doesn't, for me, have the surprise element. It's hard to put my finger on it because it's a good movie, but there's something about part 2 that I liked a little less than part 1. Part 1, I think, worked in all elements. It was a great cop movie, and it was a great Scanners movie. Part 2 is a superhero movie with cop elements, and for me, the cop stuff really falls behind. Like, he has Sam has a new partner. We barely get to know him. Robert Forster is the new chief of police. What the fuck? He was awesome. He's amazing in this, but, it's a thankless role. He's got like 10, 20 lines. He doesn't really do anything. And I think what I really liked about the first one is that everybody felt integral. Sam's dad, the Religious Revenge, like it all felt integral. Like it all felt like it fit together in a nice, neat puzzle. Here it feels a little sloppier. Here it's a serial killer movie. Take your pick of any serial killer movie with superpowers. That's not a bad thing, but I can't put my finger on it, and I apologize for giving you kind of a poor review here because I cannot put my finger on what exactly was missing, what that missing ingredient was in part 2. That it just didn't wow me as much as the first one. Look, gangbang, this is still a good movie. I loved this movie very much. I mean, again, compared to the pantheon of Vinegar Syndrome titles, this is fucking masterpiece stuff. But I'm just gonna be honest, just the way I feel. Everybody has different feelings. We bring different emotions to a movie. There's something about part 2 that just felt lacking. But it's a good sequel, and it works really well as a double feature with part 1. And it ends very abruptly, which I thought was very strange. It just kind of ends, and I kind of wanted some kind of, payoff or wrap up, because we never get to see Sam again. The Scanner Cop franchise ends here with the second movie, and that's a shame because I think it could have gone farther, and we could have had some more fun with it. But as it stands, it's a really fucking good movie. It's a really, really, really good movie, and I honestly, I'm probably in the minority. I think a lot of people are probably going to love part 2 even more. You tell me in the comments down below. Two-way conversation here. I'm curious. Did you like part 1 or part 2 better? I don't know what it is about part 1, but it just spoke to me. This beautiful slip is just gorgeous, colorful as hell. I'm gonna pull the movie out of here. It is in 4K, and I mean, it goes without saying, it's clear, crisp, beautiful, just jaw-dropping. The colors pop. It's glorious, 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 glorious. So many details finally revealed. I remember watching this on VHS and just being so muddy and ugly. Just gorgeous cinematography, and comes with 2 discs. And if you've seen the review for part 1, you'll understand why. You get the 4K, and this has the commentary from the director. And the Blu-ray is where the rest of the special features are. They're not on the 4K, and I'm not sure why that is, but it is. So on the Blu-ray, you do get that 28-minute documentary I mentioned, the second half of the Scanners franchise review. Well, Scanner Cop franchise review, and specifically about part 2 this time, interviewing Patrick Kilpatrick, the director, and the remaining actors and things like that. Really great, really brisk, and it gives you a good idea of what the movie is, what the movie offers, and how either easy it was to make or how difficult it was to make. I'm not going to reveal anything. Scanner Cop 2, what can I say? It's a really good movie. I think I preferred part 1, but this is a fantastic fucking movie. Of course, it comes in this slipcase holder, I guess. I'm not sure what they're calling it. But what a double feature. What a beautiful release here. I'm really glad they blew this one out with the 4K and the beautiful cases and stuff like that, because it deserves it. Both of these movies highly deserve it. I'm going to give Scanner Cop 2 4 stars. I almost gave it 5. I'm going to give it 4. And again, that's just that unnameable thing that's preventing me from going, fuck yeah, that was just as good as part 1. Maybe it's just because it's a sequel. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys felt the same way. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. It's time to close the theater down. I've spilled all this popcorn and soda watching the movie, so I've got to clean all this shit up. It's disgusting. My friend, until we meet again, please take care of yourself. I'm going to grab the curtain here, pull it across the silver screen, and remind you that I love you. I love you just the way you are. I hope we get to hang out again soon. It would mean the world to me. It really would. And until we meet again, the theater remains closed.